warm evening. Welcome. This is SportsZone live on Joy Prime. My name is Fento. Tahir Fento. We are back again to review the biggest talking points from the world of sports here on your favorite Monday night sports show. Brought to you, of course, by Kivo, as well as Syntex Tank. We'll tell you a bit more about them very, very shortly. But coming up over the next 90 minutes, Arsenal continue to ride pretty at the top of the Premier League table. But, of course, it's Man City who are breathing down their neck. In Kumasi, the dream is over for Dreams FC after being humbled by Zamalek in Kumasi. But what valuable lessons have they picked from that particular journey? We'll get into that. In the Ghana Premier League, Samatex have opened a 7-point lead at the top of the Ghana Premier League table. And it looks like this team from Samra Boy are on course to win the first ever Premier League title. How are they doing it? We will get into details of that. In Germany, well, Bayer Leverkusen, never losing, are refusing to die. They're like a team with 9 lives, scoring yet again in the 97th minute to keep their unbeaten run. It's now 46 matches without losing a single game in all competitions this season. We will take it to Germany a little bit. Also, we'll go around elsewhere in Europe. Inter Milan are champions of Serie A. Real Madrid have inched another step closer to being crowned champions of Spain. But Paris Saint-Germain are also champions of France. And they did so despite drawing 3-3 with Le Havre. That was where Andre Ayew was up to his usual tricks against PSG, scoring a fabulous goal. We will show you highlights from that game as well. Plus, sometime for athletics, Ghana's team warmed up for the Penn Relays, for the World Athletics Relays coming up in the Bahamas by participating in the Penn Relays. We show you their race and how they prepare for the weekend. The show is live and interactive. It's yours, so do send me a message. Use the hashtag SportsZone on Twitter or X, and I will read your message and then retweet it, share it with the rest of our viewers from across the globe. Also, if you prefer WhatsApp, the number is on your screen, 0240-910-990. 0240, I beg your pardon, 910-330 is on your screen. Okay, so save it as SportsZone and then send me a WhatsApp message. Your thoughts on all of the weekend's matches and all of the things that we'll be talking about are very welcome here on the show. We'll be doing that over the next 90 minutes. So we've got plenty of time to go through as many of your messages as possible. So keep them coming on that WhatsApp number and on X using the hashtag SportsZone. Once again, my name is Fento. Tahir Fento. The show proudly brought to you by Kivo as well as Syntex Tank. When we come back from this very short break, I, of course, will get into introducing my guest, and then we can get the show on the road. Welcome back. This is SportsZone live on Joy Prime, brought to you by Johnny Walker. Okay, Johnny Walker, proud sponsors of this show. Also brought to you by Syntex Tank and, of course, by Kivo. All right, and the guys are here. Sichofer Philip Achri, Minister, is here today in his minister outfit. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, my brother.
Minister to the country. Ghanaians are listening.
Now we are ministering sports, so why you call it? Why you lead the way, we will follow you.
Prophet Danny is here. He is still in the miracle working business.
Yeah.
And Arsenal are top of the Premier League table.
Yeah, the prophecy is shaping up.
It is shaping up. How are you, brother? Welcome to the show, guys. Send me a message, all right? Use the number on your screen. I'll read them as the show goes on. But let me remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by Johnny Walker. It's a big boy drink. When the family gathers, when you gather for a party, the boys, the girls, whatever it is, the gathering of your choice. Every time you do that with over 18s only, make sure your drink of choice is Johnny Walker. You can have it just like that, or you can mix it with your favorite mixer, and you're good to go. Also, let me remind you that Kivo is also here, and Kivo are telling you that if you're feeling hungry and want something quick to eat, this is the best mix of Gari soakings in the market. It's 4-in-1. There's crispy Gari in there, there's crunchy granite in there, and there's creamy milk and sugar. All you need is to just add water and voila, you're good to go. All right? No stress, just delicious taste only. All right? You can enjoy it in the office. Pack it for the kids to take to school. You can have it in your car, wherever, okay? And it's available in all supermarkets nationwide. Kivo, 4-in-1. Just ask for Kivo, K-I-V-O, Kivo. 2-syllable word. And remember, soakings are easy because of Kivo. Also a reminder that you cannot do Gari soakings without water. And you need to store water at home. And to do that, you need Syntex tank. Because right now, water problem everywhere. So you need to store water. And that's where Syntex tank comes in, providing you 7-year warranty on your water tank. They have all sizes for you. So whether you have a small house, a small apartment, or big house, or factory, they have all kinds of sizes for you. And they have 300 agents nationwide. You can just call them 0244 335168, and they will deliver your tank to you. And when you call them, remember to say you're looking for the SportsZone discount, and they will give it to you. Syntex tank, it's strong, it's tough. Guys, we've got a lot to go through today, so I'm not going to waste anybody's time, and we'll begin only in Kumasi. That's the right place to begin. Dreams FC hosted Zamalek on Sunday night with a 0-0 result from the first leg, and they were hoping to make it to the final of the competition for the first time in their history. Every stage of this competition is history for Dreams FC, every single stage. And they were looking to make the final, which would have been the ultimate pinnacle of their fairy tale campaign. It did not happen the way we all had hoped. Take a look at the highlights, and when we come back here, we'll look at what went wrong. All right, so it all went south, okay? Dreams FC lost by 3-0 to Zamalek. Zamalek progressed to the final at the expense of Dreams FC. Dreams FC has still got a lot to be proud of, even before I bring the guys in. It's worth noting that whatever we're about to say is not necessarily that we are angry that Dreams FC didn't make it to the final. Whatever be the case, Dreams FC have still made themselves proud. Nonetheless, there is still a tinge of disappointment that they lost the way they did. Not necessarily because they got kicked out, but because of the way they lost at home with such a massive crowd behind them. Where did it all go wrong? Surely, Zamalek eliminating Dreams FC is not news in any circle in African football. But when you look at the circumstances and you look at what was possible and what happened, that's where the disappointment is.
You shut up. You shut up. Man is looking.
No, he's looking wet.
No, you shut up. He's looking nice suit, nice fabric.
Nice tie.
Nice combination, yeah. Plain blue, light blue shirt. Nah, gentleman stuff. All right, back to Dreams.
I wanted to see something.
Go on. Finishing.
It's just the barber. You should have visited the barber again. Because
keep the
lines.
If I go to my barber and I come here, the two of you will spend 5 minutes laughing.
Not laughing.
Admiring.
Yes.
Then
fans. You laugh at the fans.
No,
you give me fans, then you laugh.
But you're looking away.
Because you say my forehead is shining. Because if I go to my barber, if you put the yomo here, so it will be black, then here will be shining. You can see your face here. You will start laughing.
See reflections.
Thank you.
No, he's body.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What I'll eat for the rest of this month is the problem. After spending all the money on this suit, what I'll eat for the rest of this month is the problem. My wife is texting me right now.
You need to get Kivo. A box of Kivo.
It's true.
That's all.
Kivo people, please save the deal.
A box of Kivo.
I'm begging.
Yeah.
I'm begging.
Kivo. Afternoon, Kivo.
Yes.
Evening.
Yes.
You have Kivo in your car, you can have it at the office.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy to car, yeah.
You see, when you are married, you want to buy certain things, you have to hide.
Yeah.
The problem with my situation is that if I buy for Camp Sit TV top, So my wife is just texting me right now.
Yeah.
So, my friend, when did you buy this? Which money did you use?
You can't hide.
Are you about to starve the family? And you. Right, guys, forgive us. Sijo,
yeah.
Back to dreams.
Look, friends, look, it's difficult to talk about dreams now. Anyway, but there's still a game to analyze. So we'll analyze the game, but the game is very different from the achievement.
Yeah.
And that is what I want to separate. That what Dreams FC have done is unthinkable.
Okay.
It shouldn't have happened. It happened. They made it possible. They were dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. They've come this far. It's a remarkable achievement by the club.
Yes.
And for me, what I'm very happy about, and I'm going to be supporting Dreams FC for the rest of the FA Cup. The reason is, a lot of teams in Ghana, when they go to Africa, at times it takes them 3-4 years before they go back. By the time they are back, they've sold all the players, they've changed managers.
That's the problem.
They've changed the entire makeup of the team. So the experience that they would have learned from the previous campaign becomes zero because a new body goes into when they qualify to the next one. Dreams FC, if they win the FA Cup this season, they are back in the Confed Cup.
True.
And that for me is where I'm going to be supporting them, hoping that they can keep...
Rooting for them.
Yes. Keep some of these players. I know Karim Zito is going to be there. He's almost like a godfather for that club.
Yeah. Yes.
So that experience will count for something. And for them to have, for the first time, gone all the way to the semis, it's a remarkable achievement, so I give them that. Yeah, on the game, I thought we said it here last time that I was thinking they were going to be defending and very tight, at least try and frustrate Zamalek because they are favorites. Dreams FC, doesn't matter the miracle that you've seen of them, but when you're playing against Zamalek, they are always going to be the favorites.
You have to show respect.
So the responsibility would have been on Zamalek to come at Dreams and open them up and carve out chances. But if they were going to do that, it should have been more difficult. The way they considered the first goal was disappointing. Karim still will be the first to point that out. Conceding from a set piece. And in between the lines, the spaces that they allowed Zamalek to have, the second goal is a clear example. Then by the third goal...
Can't be free inside the D.
It can't happen. You need people to be closing those spaces down, be compact and a bit tighter. But I'm thinking that Dreams FC, and Karim just said it at the airport. I don't think he lied when he said it. Yeah. That they were not going to play the way they played away from home. They were going to be more expansive. And in being more expansive, the spaces that they didn't afford Zamalek in Egypt, those spaces popped up here in Ghana because they were a bit more open and Zamalek punished them for that. But listen, that is the game to analyze, so we'll be frank and truthful about that. But that in no way takes anything away from the achievement. It's been remarkable.
Danike, the other disappointing thing about it is that despite the game plan that they adopted and the criticism that came with it because of all the spaces it opened up for the opposition, they themselves actually created enough opportunities in that game to at least by halftime to have been level. So in some sense, you would say the game plan made sense. The execution, not so much.
Yeah, in some sense. I don't think, considering the philosophy of Karim Zito, it's very hard to think that he wanted his team to offer the opposition that amount of space for them to attack. Obviously, he would have expected he kept it a bit tight. But when you talk about the chances Dreams FC created, and even more painful is the individuals the chances fell to.
Right.
Because for a head coach, all you can do is to fashion out a plan to create scenarios on the pitch. And when those scenarios come up, you expect your best and most experienced players to be able to finish them off. But unfortunately, John Entry, it just wasn't his day. It just didn't click on the day, which was quite disappointing from a Dreams point of view. But again, going back to Karim Zito and the game plan, we praise managers for what they are known for. So, and we judge them for what they are known for. So when you look at the likes of Diego Simeone, Pep Guardiola, the first thing you think about with Pep is attacking football. How many chances did his team create before you look at how well they defended?
Right.
Diego Simeone, you look at how well his team defended before how many chances they created.
Right.
For Karim Zito, we were focused on how to stop Dreams, Zamalek from creating opportunities. And it just didn't happen. I was quite surprised. And I mentioned it last week that I thought he was playing mind games by saying he was going to be a bit more expansive. I'm actually really surprised Dreams FC tried to play on the day. Because, you see, there's one very difficult thing about attacking football. When you want to play attacking football, especially against a high-quality opposition, you must have equal or better quality.
Right.
Because attacking football, no matter what it is always going to create space. Once you are fluid, once you are moving out of position, you are moving around trying to create spaces for yourself, you are obviously creating spaces in behind for opposition to thrive. And Dreams FC, that 1v1 quality up against Zamalek just didn't match it on the day. So Zamalek, and you could see, was literally experienced. First 15 minutes, you scored 2 goals, that's it. Now the pressure is on Dreams FC, and they had to respond. And every time Dreams came forward, in as much as it looked dangerous, Zamalek also looked even more dangerous on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, this is not something that, and to be honest, this is not something that on a grand scale of things, when we looked at it probably at the end of the group stages, we didn't expect Dreams going out by virtue of being inexperienced. This is basically what happened at the end of the day. But we are happy that it happened in the semi-finals. Yeah, it shows how far this team has gone and how quickly they learned throughout the competition. Because you find teams making mistakes in group stages by the quarterfinals. But this team learned very quickly. They did a sound job. First leg was brilliant in Cairo. It just came crumbling in Kumasi. But again, I want to mention something again. Most people don't realize it, but Dreams have done this thing without playing a single home game.
Yes.
A single game at their home stadium. So they basically play their home games away from home, and they've reached this stage. And for me, it's absolutely incredible what Karim Zito and his guys have done. And again, I'm with Sicho. You want to see that continuity. When you look at the clubs in the FA Cup as it stands, apart from the 3 semi-final teams, Dreams FC play on Wednesday against Soccer Intellectuals. If they can get that game out of the way, reach that semi-final, they look like prime favorites to win the competition, because that will be back-to-back semi-final appearances in the MTN FA Cup. And if they can get that win again and go back into Africa, I think they'll be in a much, much better place to handle next season's competition.
Very well. And you know, it's quite ironic that we are, maybe slightly criticizing maybe Karim Zito for not being very defensively compact in his approach against Zamalek, when, in fact, in the CAF Confederation Cup, here's a stat that will blow your mind. In the whole group stage campaign, Dreams FC scored the most goals, 11. Yeah. So they haven't necessarily been a very defensive-minded team. They have scored a lot of goals. So maybe, yes, he trusted a bit more in that approach. It just didn't work out. Nonetheless, like the guy said, it is, and I absolutely love what Sicho said, that the game in isolation should be looked at in isolation, independent of the run to the semi-final stage. And the latter, brilliant. The game itself, not so much. But there are valuable lessons, and I would like to just point out something, and what repeating, something that my colleague Achitamaklu wrote in his column, Hindsight, which is published on myjoyonline.com every Monday.
Yeah, brilliant column.
That, exactly. It was fantastic. Yeah. And, you know, I would just like to re-echo what the synopsis of that article is. And it is that Dreams FC's run in the CAF Confederation Cup shows that doing well in African competition is possible for Ghanaian clubs. And that over the years, a lot of them have fallen on very lazy excuses for their disappointing exits. Because Dreams have shown that it doesn't take a miracle to do as well in Africa. It takes planning, it takes scouting, it takes quality coaching, and it takes a bit of chemistry with your team and ensuring that you get all your logistics right. Dreams FC so it's not always being about money, because Dreams FC are on record to have said that they spent around $400,000. Are you telling me that Dreams FC have $400,000 and Hearts of Oak with Togwe don't have that much? So here's the question. If you gave Kotoko or Hearts of Oak $400,000 to go and play in the CAF Confederation Cup, can you guarantee that they would have gone this far?
No, really.
So it's not necessarily about an issue of money, because Dreams set lots of record on the way. Because look at all these years that all these clubs, Kotoko, Hearts of Oak, Mediama, have gone to Africa in the last 20 years, since the Champions League or the Confederation Cup in 2000 and 2005. Not a single one of them in that period, in that 20-year period, had recorded even an away win in CAF competition. Dreams did it not once, but twice. They beat Lobito and they beat Stade Malien. It's the first time a Ghanaian club had won an away game in the CAF competition in 20 years. And they didn't just win one, they won two. So are you telling me that that's because they spent $400,000? Absolutely not. It's because they scouted, knew the opposition, and they did their homework. And for me, that is exactly what our clubs need to be doing. You should be calling up Aminu Shado right now, calling up Karim Zito for whichever club goes into Africa next season. They've set a template that is worth emulating. That is worth learning from. And that's what we need to do. We've taken massive strides forward now with our club football. Dreams FC have made this country proud. They've made a name for themselves. And a lot more people will show a bit more attention and a bit more focus will now shift on Ghanaian football every time a Ghanaian club steps onto the African campaign. Don't disappoint. Teams have shown that it is possible. Don't go and do your shaggy and come back here and come and blame people once again. They like doing that. Dreams have, and one of the things that Dreams have done brilliantly is the very tiny, compact squad that they've built. Yeah. So every player is getting to play. Now, I just pointed out in this article, I couldn't believe it. House of Folk have 6 goalkeepers in their squad. How many of them are going to get to play? Even that is a nightmare for coaches in conducting training sessions.
Yeah, I was going to say it. How do you train?
How do you train?
How do you train?
So squad management, all these things are the small problems affecting our class, but we don't see. Kotoko could go every season. Kotoko change. They sign like 10 new players every season.
You say has 6 keepers.
6 goalkeepers. And the number 1 goalkeeper, Achu said in his column last week that he's a sumo wrestler. I didn't say it.
Oh, but have you seen the guy?
Yeah, but he's not a sumo wrestler, to be fair.
He's closer to a sumo wrestler than a football.
So that's the point. So kudos to Dreams FC. Well done. Everybody else in the Ghana Premier League, take a leaf from that Dreams journey. And I'm tempted to side with Sicho when he says that he hopes that Dreams would win the FA Cup again because they have no chance of winning the Premier League and go back to Africa. Because this is a team that we can guarantee will keep the core of this team. Yeah. And who knows what they could do with the same coach and the same core of players next year. So hopefully they win the FA Cup. But hopefully, whichever other club wins it, you deserve it. But the onus is now going to be on you to also go out there and do well. So speaking of clubs winning and going to Africa, Samatex could be one of them. All right, this weekend, yet again, it's unbelievable what they have been up to. They've opened a 7-point lead at the top of the Ghana Premier League table now. We'll show you that table in a bit. We can't say the same for a club like Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They were held to a 1-0 draw at Mediama. Let's see the highlights. All right, Stephen Mukwala. So 1-1 here. Let me show you the 4 results from the Ghana Premier League this weekend. You know, it is not looking good for Nations FC. It's now 5 matches now in a row without a win, and they've sort of lost their way a little bit in the title chase. We can't, for Samatex, they are taking full advantage. Winning 1-0 like this Great Olympics, so they've opened a 7-point lead at the top. House of Folk will play a little later this week. I think on Wednesday, I believe, is when House of Folk will play. The Shotterman nail, but for Aquatown nail as well. Let me tell you this result, though. The Nations FC nail, Bibiani Gold Stars nail. Here's a stat that will blow your mind. This is the first time this season any club has stopped Nations FC from scoring at home.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Wow.
They have scored in every single game at home until this week. Karelia United 2-1 away at Aduana Stars to boost their relegation chances. Aduana were competing for the title, so this is a very, very surprising result. Yeah. Let's look at the table now. Okay, so there, Samatex, there they have, sitting pretty at the top, 7-point difference at the top with 6 matches remaining. Okay, that's what it is now. 6 matches remaining, 7-point lead. They look like they will be champions of the Ghana Premier League. Aduana Stars and Nations FC have fallen off in the last 2 weeks. Aduana losing at home, your champion would be absolutely livid at that. The bottom is where my real interest is, because the magic number for survival in Ghana Premier League is 40. And it doesn't look like Real Tamil United with 6 points remaining, well, 6 games is 18 points remaining. That is less than 40 points, even if they were to win all 6 matches, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because 18 plus 25 is not giving you Well, it's giving you 40, yeah? It's giving you 40. So they have to win at least 5 of those matches to stand any chance of surviving.
Yeah, but it's time for
It looks like that is practically impossible. And after an initial gra from Heart of Lions and Bashir Hayford in the second round, the results have kind of stagnated a little bit, and they're struggling. Dreams are also in the relegation zone. The good news for them is they have played a massive 4 games less. So there is a lot for them to still play and catch up. The real danger is to Bafo Kwatano, who were top of the league after 3 matches and said they were going to go on and win the Ghana Premier League. And they just got back from promotion. Also, dangling around our relegation zone is a team that is all too familiar with relegation. You guys know who I'm talking about. Accra Grace Olympic. It is not looking good. 33 points. But if they can get past 40 points, the magic number is usually 42 points in the Ghana Premier League to be safe. And just to give you a bit of perspective, I'm just going to tell you how many points the teams that got relegated last season got in the Ghana Premier League last season. Okay? Now, if you look at last season, just let me get this out for you real quickly. Okay? All right. Now, if you look at last season, the teams that got relegated, the 3 teams that got relegated, where is it? The teams that, yes, the teams that got relegated, Tamale City got 42 points and got relegated. King Faisal got 42 points and got relegated. And then Kotokuro Royals, they got 26 points, no chance. So, brother, even 42 points is not looking... To be safe, you need what? 45 points. Yeah. How many of these teams can get to 45 points? Real Tamale United mathematically cannot get to 45 points, can they? They can get to 43 because 18 plus 25 is 43. So, RTU fans, I have bad news for you. You're getting relegated.
Not necessarily, because 2 years ago, it was 11 Wonders who got relegated with 40 points. And then Wafa with 35, and then Sharks with 23. So,
still, so
mathematically they are here, but it's tough.
No, and it's a business end of the table. It's also, there are quite a number of games and quite a number of points to be fought for. The fact that they are competing with others. So ITU can win 3 games. 2 teams on top of them lose 3 games. ITU are above them. They don't necessarily need to reach the magic. For all you know, the magic number will be lower this season.
If the assumption is that all the teams above them are winning their games and they are winning theirs as well, then they are in a mess. But we can't trust that all the
RTU's remaining games at home to Samatex, the league leaders. That is next. They go to Mediama away from home.
Tough.
Then they host Legon Cities. Then they go to Dreams. Then they go to Brekum.
Now, when you mention that, it begins to sound like...
And then they host Kotoko. Then they finish at Olympics, who at that point might...
will also be fighting for survival, I think.
So, RTU, once again, I have bad news for you. It is not looking good. Nonetheless, we'll see. A lot can change at the end of the season. All right. Let's bring in Karim then.
Not
maybe
Zito.
He's got the magic wand.
Not Zito.
Huh?
You said, let's bring Karim. I'm saying that's not Zito.
Benning.
All right. Karim, Benning, Adamu is here. No, Adamu Benning Abdul Karim is the right order of his name. Yeah. Okay. He's here with Ghanaian players abroad, that segment. Karim, welcome to the show. How are you?
Very good.
You all right?
It's always exciting to be here.
Yes. Then guess you don't sound excited.
Oh, I'm really excited.
And you are looking show the excitement. Don't just say you are excited and you stand there like a mannequin.
Okay, you're getting on my nerves. I won't let you. The thing is that it's exciting to see how the players are ending the season.
Okay.
Like over the weekend, the big leagues, there was really very good competition among the big players, headlined by the Capito himself. Andrea Ayew scoring against PSG and delaying their title celebrations by 24 hours. 2021 or 2019, the Gabon one.
2021.
Yeah.
We said 2019 was against Benin. The opening game, 2-2, yeah.
The Gabon was.
It was
over
further
25,
away.
Yeah, further away.
But it,
And
again,
struck it
shift.
Again,
This
it's
one
just
is
typical.
Yeah, this is
So if Andre was playing against PSG every weekend, getting 2 goals, a goal in every 2 games, by this time he would have been one of the greats we've been talking about. So playing against PSG, he loves it. And in every 2 games, he scores or assists when he plays against PSG. Yeah. Then we have the Ghanaian top scorer in the Premier League is playing at the right side of the attack. That is Semenyo. He got injured for Bournemouth, but in their game against Brighton, he was one of their most creative players playing at the right side of the attack. Then Jeffrey Schlupp, the latest Ghanaian to score in the Premier League, he came off the bench for Jordan Ayew, and just minutes after coming on, he scored such a blinder.
He also scored a wonderful goal.
Yeah.
Right? We're praising Andre Ayew, but Schlupp's goal was superb as well.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Benaya has it, but it was a fabulous strike
after
too.
he touched Jordan.
Yeah.
Getting them a draw, getting Crystal Palace a draw against Fulham. Then Barbara Mann, he was unlucky not to be awarded a goal for PAOK when they won 3-2. That is against AEK Athens. And the title race there too is shaping out really well. PAOK, they are behind AEK Athens by 4 points, and they have a game in hand. So they will just be looking forward to Athens slipping, and Barbara Rahman could be getting his hand on a silverware. Then Abu Francis, he was impressive for Cercle Brugge. They drew 1-1 against Anderlecht. Anderlecht are leading the table in Belgium. That is for the title. Amajid Ashimiro came on for Anderlecht after the hour mark, and he's recovering from injury and has been doing so really well. Then Thomas Partey, he did the simple things for Arsenal against Tottenham, and that looked really sweet to see. And when it is well appreciated by how he does it, then it's nice. Then Kamal Sowa, not so consistent. He started his first game for Standard Liège since February and played about 70-something minutes for them and created the most chances in that game. He played alongside his compatriot, that is Kelvin Yeboah, and they were both decent in that game as well. Then I have 2 pairs of Opoku flanking Alex Jiku as the 3-back for me. Then Nicolas Opoku plays for Amiens. They drew goalless against Troy. Then Jerome Opoku played for Basik Sahel, and they won 2-1 against Hatayspor. Then Jiku, he also played for Besiktas. They won 2-1 against, plays for Fenerbahce. They won 2-1 against Besiktas. Daniel Marti was on the bench for Besiktas. Then Abalora, they are writing a very beautiful story in Moldova. They faced, that is FC Sheriff, his former side. That is where he's on loan from. And they won 2-1. Now they've stretched their lead in the Moldovan League to 3 points. That is leading the title charge there. They could be crowned champions, and we'll be seeing them maybe playing in the CAF Champions League. In that game as well.
Playing the what?
UEFA Champions League. In that game as well, there was David Abagna also playing for Petro Cab, and in their 2-0 win against FC Sheriff, he scored a goal there for them, and he was instrumental for them and still instrumental for them in their title charge.
But if Abagna
didn't get a place in the team.
he didn't get a place in your team.
Scoring doesn't guarantee him a place. Thomas
Look
Partey.
at this guy.
No, he's not talking about the forwards.
What about
Abu Francis
Yeah,
plays.
gets him above Abagna.
No.
for the weekend.
So the thing is, looking at the position he played, he played as a right-sided winger.
Winger, and he scored.
So how does the Moldovan League compare to the Premier League? Would you pick the Moldovan League over the Premier League? So that is it.
Okay. I see.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Karim. Listen, it's wonderful. We'll try and show you that Schlupp goal that I spoke about. It was a phenomenal strike, nonetheless. So don't worry. We'll show you that goal. But also, it's worth pointing out, I think we missed that part, that Zamalek will play RS Berkane in the final of the CAF Confederation Cup. And RS Berkane have made it to the final by not kicking a ball, okay? The first leg of their semi-final against USM Alger in Algeria did not come off because RS Berkane said their jerseys were seized at the airport by Algerian custom officials. And the reason for that is that Berkane's jersey had the map of Morocco, and on that map is also a small disputed area called Western Sahara, where Algeria and Morocco are fighting over the ownership of the place. Morocco says it belongs to them. They're adding it to their map. Algeria says, for here, no. So it was in Berkane's jersey because of the Moroccan flag in there. So they seize the jerseys, and then the match doesn't happen. CAF goes to sit down, then they award 3 points, 3 goals and a win for RS Berkane. Now, RS Berkane are supposed to host the second leg. The Algerians also go there. As for them, they don't have a problem with their jerseys, so they didn't see their jerseys, but they go to the dressing room and refuse to come out to play the match. So the match doesn't happen, and then, of course, CAF now awards RS Berkane another 3 goals and the win. So they make it to the final with a 6-goal aggregate victory. That is continental competition. Politics has seeped so deeply into African football, so much so that a continental semi-final match between countries from 2 clubs did not happen because of a dispute between 2 countries. And one of them is in the final.
It's CAF's fault.
It's unbelievable.
That jersey shouldn't have been approved in the first place. And unfortunately, you see, it's
because the regular Moroccan flag doesn't have it. So why do they have a special jersey with that part of
We've
Western
seen
Sahara
instances
in
like
it?
this happen in Europe where the body, the governing body stood up and they quickly fixed the issue. UEFA didn't allow, and was it Denmark in the last Euros had something in their jersey?
Yes.
Ukraine had something in their jersey with the Crimea region, the whole Russia thing. They didn't allow them. They changed the jersey. Football went on as usual. At the start of the competition, CAF shouldn't have allowed RS Berkane to use the jersey. Unfortunately, USM Algiers is suffering for something that is beyond them. It's bigger than them.
Yes,
They are
it's not their
ones,
fault.
It's not their fault. They are not the ones who called the customs officer to say they should seize it. If I was a customer, I'll seize it now, I'll seize it again because it's wrong. You don't do that.
Yeah, even if you're going to allow them to wear the jersey, because of the political tension between the 2 countries, why don't you state that fixture on a neutral ground? There's nothing wrong with it. You can state that fixture on a neutral ground.
Right.
But it's on CAF. It's a shame.
A big shame. The Champions League, though, the final will be between Al Ahly and Esperance. Al Ahly made it to the final, becoming the first club to make 5 consecutive CAF Champions League finals in the history of the competition. They already have 11 titles. I don't know how many more they want to win. They'll play Esperance. But those results also mean now we know the 4 African clubs that will be playing in the inaugural CAF FIFA Club World Cup next year. 4 African teams, okay? Al Ahly, Wydad, will now be joined by Mamelodi Sundowns and Esperance. So those 4 clubs will represent Ghana. I said Ghana. Represent, my director is screaming Ghana in my ear. That's the problem. They will represent Africa at next year's FIFA Club World Cup. This is the full scores from the Premier League this weekend. And there you go. So the results being confirmed for you. West Ham 2, Liverpool 2. Wolves beat Luton 2-1 as well. Newcastle beat Sheffield 5-1 to confirm Sheffield United relegated. So they become the first Premier League team to be relegated this season. Bournemouth also beat Brighton. So De Zerbi, his biggest supporter is Sichu. He has run away from De Zerbi now. The man is not doing well. Everton won against Brentford, also an important one. But this is what the table looks like now. So Arsenal, Man City going neck for neck, 80-79. Liverpool 4, further 5 points behind the title race. So it looks like it's not going to happen. Man City have a game in hand. So if they win that, they will go top with a 2-point advantage. Man United's chase for European football looks like it is eluding them. Aston Villa in 4th position. They also have dropped a few points. But when you put it into perspective, they picked 1 point. Spurs lost all points. So that's good for Aston Villa. And they're establishing a hold on that 4th position.
In the
let's
first
look at
35 minutes, Nottingham Forest could easily have been
It was
3-0 up. They were
unbelievable.
chance after chance after chance. And sometimes it hurts from a coaching point of view when you can't really do anything about it.
Nah.
Again,
It's
you
just
work on the
incompetent.
scenarios.
Yeah.
The scenarios are created on the pitch, and you just hope and pray that your guys are able to.
For Nottingham Forest,
But it just didn't happen.
many teams are better than them in terms of quality, but not intensity.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely what they got on.
They never give up.
The intensity with which they play, they press, they run, they are all over the place. They are chasing the balls.
transitions are just
It's so quick, and it's got some very fast players up front. So yeah.
All right, very well. We will take another break. When we come back, we've got your messages and we've got the analysis of the title race. What is it going to be? Which team is it going to be? Plus, of course, we'll take you around the globe as well. There's a lot more still to show you here on SportsZone. Fatawu Issahaku is having a really good time at Leicester.
I
Leicester
think
City
forgotten that that's not his club though.
yeah.
They'll buy him.
Yeah. Leicester City are promoted.
Yeah.
Immediate return to the Premier League after just one season in the Championship. They won the Championship. Their place was confirmed on Friday after Leeds United lost away to QPR. And Fatawu, what a season he's had.
Incredible. 7 goals, 13 assists. He made an assist tonight.
Yeah.
So count that in, and he's got 20 goal contribution in the Championship in his first attempt with Leicester, a team that is going to win the Championship. And I've always told people the Championship is an incredibly great league. It really is. It's if you like, top
The level
20.
is, yes.
Yeah, the
no,
level is
actually,
high.
it was ranked number 8
Yeah.
at some point
Yes.
in terms of the world
Quality.
biggest. Yes.
Yeah. So when players excel in the Championship, it's only second to a great league like the Premier League, but it doesn't mean that the Championship in itself is not a great league. And for him to go to Leicester, a club that was relegated from the Premier League only last season, play the number of minutes he's played, help them to gain a promotion as he's done on loan from SportsZone. I think that he's actually signed himself for the club. The club will be happy to get him on board for a permanent deal. Or maybe
It
other
would be
clubs,
for their benefit.
other clubs will be looking at him as well.
Yes.
I think that the loan deal has a
clause that
I think
he's
he's exceeded those number of games, I think.
yeah, because look,
It's been brilliant.
And the good thing is that gaining promotion comes with extra money.
Yeah.
You see how integral he is to the Leicester system. I think Maresca should be pushing the ball to get his signature. They have to buy him because Fatawu Issahaku played in this Leicester team in the Premier League will be.
And to be honest, the kid, even beyond the football, he is such a vibe in the
Yeah, I
dressing
can
room.
imagine he's going to be such
And
a
it
great
depends-
He's so
I think-
marketable.
Yes.
He'll be a great teammate to have.
That's
for
what-
all the lads there. Because
Yes.
he
So
makes
people
you
like that are
smile.
good to have in the dressing room.
Absolutely. He makes you smile even when you lose. Or he's got a great character and it's infectious.
No,
My
even
favorite
from a branding
video of
point
him.
of view.
My favorite video of him is the video of him wearing Kelechi Iheanacho show.
Yeah.
Was it after they have?
The one he was taking a video of Iheanacho's drip.
Yeah.
And Kelechi says he should leave him alone. He won't leave
a
me
great
alone.
personality,
He said he should stand well. Babana. Fatawu, he's such a great kid. So all the best to him. Congratulations to him as well. Let me read some messages. Pelo on Twitter says, yesterday's result just had things happening on the pitch. Before the first half of the game, a Zamalek player took the ball from the center line and got to the 18 box and scored. He did same before the start of the second half, and no reaction from anyone from Dreams. I just didn't understand why. If you believe in the dark arts, Pelo says he saw some things. Prosper Akute says, Fent, you're looking good like a correct pastor. Thank you. Dreams showed disrespect to Zamalek. They thought they would get the game easy, forgetting they're more experienced than them. To our English referees, they should keep their inconsistency every week. Interesting. It's like they take do-up. Marlu King says, referees need to up their game. Things are getting worse in our league games. Did you see that our 5 players encouraged the penalty box before Midiama's player kicked the ball?
Yep.
The ref was only interested in the outcome. It looks so amateurish,
Normal.
he says. Yeah, so lots of people with comments on the officiating. Let me go on WhatsApp and read some more messages from there. This one says, hey, my favorite pundit. This is Bubakar Jersey watching you live from the Gambia, my favorite Monday evening show. And he says, remember, they are winning tomorrow, inshallah. Come on, you merengues. Hashtag Hala Madrid. He's not the only one sending a message from the Gambia. Of course, this other message also from the Gambia, very good friend You remember the wonderful woman that always sends messages to the show? It says here, I'm seeing it says, "Hello, this is your girl M Cham from the Gambia again. Please, is that Ghanaian broad best 11 an individual collection, or because I don't understand why Abdul Fatawu is not in the list? That man is doing great. A hat-trick against Aranthing and today an assist. Are you telling me he couldn't make it on the top 11 with all this over the weeks?" It is on a weekly basis. So the performances of Ghanaian players each week, not overall.
And he also takes into consideration the quality of the leagues, according to Karim. That's why Abagna will be in.
Yeah, so we're looking at, so if you look at the performances of players, and also because he's an attacking player, you look at the performances of other players in that position, and then you make a decision on which of them deserves to be in there.
Yeah,
and then Karim also says that today was not factored into.
Yeah, and last week, the hat-trick was in midweek. So the weekend
It
games,
should have fed
eroded-
into
eroded-
this weekend.
Yeah, the weekend
No, but
games
I had a
eroded
very
that.
serious question.
So question
for
marks
Karim.
for Karim, because if the hat-trick was scored in midweek, what is the justification for...
Can you bring him back here? Because I had a
Excluding
very
him.
serious question.
It's a good question.
Because a couple of weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
about 6 weeks ago, Jordan Ayew gave an assist and was not in the team of the week. But the boy from Wolfsberger,
Yes.
was in the Augustine Wachi,
Yes.
was inside there.
Yes.
Now,
He's
Austria
not
and
telling
Premier
me in
League,
my
which one
ear
is
that
there?
he's
Which
not
one?
telling me in my ear that it is Friday to Sunday. You know what you've done? Then you need to create another one for Monday to Friday.
Quick.
Because otherwise then there's a problem. Because you can't just, it is, listen to yourself. Your segment is Ghanaians abroad, player of the week, 11 of the week. It doesn't say
But you know, he always puts the
11
date.
of Friday, Saturday,
No,
Sunday.
but you see,
But to be fair
to
to him,
be
he
fair to him, he
always
always puts the dates there.
Yeah, the dates.
He
So-
puts the date there.
So this one would have been like
But I
20
put it back up. Let's see
27
the,
to
let's
29.
see
Yeah,
the,
he puts the dates.
let's see the date you put there, so we know that he didn't rake the system. Because Karim, you know, people don't trust him. People are questioning him from the Gambia. So you see, so there's a problem there. They see,
Right,
oh,
so
okay.
26, yeah.
26 to
So
28.
today, it's our assist is not part. The hat-trick, which is outside this time.
Yeah.
Perfect, Karim. You know what you're doing. You know your stuff.
Okay,
Brilliant.
Karim, fair to you. Well done. So you are not corrupt.
I think Karim should start putting the
No question mark.
The day will be.
All right, good evening, brothers. I'm Sayran Gilbert, watching you live from Abokobi Metropolitan Assembly. God continue to bless you all for the good work done for Mother Ghana. And you know that if he's texting from Abokobi, he's going to send Daniel Cranty a message. He says, tell Mr. Daniel to reply my messages as if he's messaging you. Check your Twitter DM. This one says, good evening to you guys. You're doing a fantastic job. I feel sorry for Dreams FC. I wish them luck next time. Greetings to Karim. I'm Vincent from Silbele in the Sisala West District. Gilbert, thank you very much. Vincent, for your message. This message says, some of the referees in the Premier League need to be demoted to the under-10 Premier League. So, how can you accept decisive goal, then go and check VAR to disallow it, while they're 2 meters away from the incident? Well, the pass came from Bediashile, no?
Yeah.
After he committed the foul. So that is the logic behind it. Starboy from La Paz says, the Kotoko game that the referee took the penalty. Did he see the penalty box line? Ghana football is going backwards because the pitch is bad. The camera showing the game too is poor. What a country we are living in. I think he's also talking about the encroachment. It was a really bad decision.
That's what the camera is not poor.
Yeah, exactly. So, Fento is looking dapper, but you can't send this dress home because hasn't wifey texted you that there's doom so? Oh, from Mutala. Okay, Mutala, I didn't even know. So now you've spoiled my mood for the rest of the show. Augustine is watching us live from Old Barriaka. So our first time watching you, but I think you guys are doing great. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you stay. We all know that Arsenal won't win the league. There's no way Man City will drop points. So another trophyless season for Arsenal in their prime. God of football, please let Man United do the magic for us. On that note, the title race is shaping up nicely.
2 horse race now. Liverpool, I'm not sure they're competing.
No, Liverpool are
They
out.
It's disappointing the way they've gone about it. The whole Klopp and Salah thing, I think, was not necessary. I can understand why Mohamed Salah was frustrated. I can understand what Klopp wants to do. Salah is not in great form. But to be fair, the whole attack, nobody's playing well. So why would you drop Salah for when everybody's not playing well. He's better than all of them anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's what Salah will be thinking. In the end, they didn't win at West Ham. Then, listen, City were not great, but at this time of the season, that is why they normally call the business end. You want to get a business done. And that is what City did at the City ground against Nottingham Forest. To be fair, Nottingham Forest could have won the game or could have had something from the game. But that is what City have shown. They've got enough quality to go through bad spells. It's about one of their worst games or their worst game I've seen them play this season.
Yeah.
They won't play worse than that, ever, in the rest of the games that are to come. Because Pep Guardiola is going to demand them to be playing a lot better than that. And I still think City have got... The league is theirs to lose now because if they win the rest of their games, they are champions. Meanwhile, it's Arsenal that is not going to make it easy for them. So when you watch Arsenal play against Spurs, in what, in my opinion, was a very difficult game. Anyone who didn't see the fixture looks at Arsenal taking a 3-goal lead and is thinking Arsenal had a comfortable ride. No, they didn't. They didn't. Spurs were giving Arsenal a lot of problems. And was Arsenal finding solutions to the questions that Spurs were asking? Spurs were keeping the ball well. They were stretching Arsenal at some point. But Arsenal showed a bit more grit and physicality. And for Spurs, the problems we've seen of the team so far this season was there for us to see again. They can't defend set pieces when it's whipped into the near side and the goalkeeper can't come and claim it. Arsenal got 2 goals from that. And then there was the whole controversy about Kulusevski, whether that should have been a pen on Kulusevski or that should have been a foul. But Kai Havertz, though, picking the right time and the right angle to the pass for Saka on the counter was brilliant. And Saka, from that point, also finished well. So, yeah, I think Arsenal did get that victory well against Spurs. Even though they didn't control the game as Arteta would have loved. But at this time of the season, all you need to do when you want to win the league is to win games like this. And that's why I said, when Liverpool missed out on winning against Man United at Old Trafford, I said they were not serious about winning the title. That is at the Spurs Stadium, not London Derby, big rivals. But when you want to win the title, you find a way of winning it.
You know, I'm actually very surprised at Arsenal because even on paper, the games that we thought, well, not everyone per se, but on paper, the games that we thought were difficult, they've absolutely blown those opponents away. So Chelsea, Spurs, maybe not comfortable, they still won, exactly. The Villa game was a big surprise. Having Partey back is a big plus.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a big plus. And it's a big, for me, it's not a big plus in terms of quality, in terms of options. Because we saw the work that Odegaard, Rice, Jorginho have done from
all season,
October till now. Absolutely fantastic. I think Partey gives that different dimension to Partey is a bit more offensive than Jorginho, and he tends to look. And
he makes
them
a bit
play
more
quicker. Yes, and he's that's the word. He's more direct, and he's constantly looking at the more offensive pass. Jorginho is looking at the safe option. He's more about control, and that for me is a manager's dream. It's about options and bringing on a player, deciding how the game is going to go. For me, coaching-wise in this North London derby, I think this is one of the best games that Mikel Arteta has coached. In the first half, and especially for Arsenal fans, you see, when you have opposition having a lot of the ball, fans don't tend to like it. But Tottenham were not threatening Arsenal. It was noisy possession. They had the ball, were swinging it. They were not creating. The only one time that they created was from a transition. Arsenal had it, they lost it high up the pitch. It was a long ball over to Son. He controlled it and then blazed it over the bar. That was literally the only time that Tottenham Hotspur opened Arsenal up. The rest were, you can talk about the set piece. That one was on offside anyway, so it's not really factored in. Yeah. But Arsenal were devastating in transitions. That Tottenham high line has been something that has haunted them over and over and over this season. You remember the game against Newcastle, the 4-0, I think against Villa also. That Spurs high line. Chelsea also. Teams have found a way to get the better of them. They press very well, okay. But when you have an Arsenal backline that is very comfortable with the ball, can deal with your press, they can play beyond your press, and then that ball over the top becomes very dangerous. In the second half, when Arsenal were leading by 3-0, then Arsenal had a bit more control. If you look at the possession numbers, Arsenal were not necessarily trying to carve Spurs open. They were very patient, passing it from side to side because they were 3-0 up. But that's in the second half is where the offensive players from Arsenal really disappointed me, especially, I'll mention them, is Odegaard and Saka.
Yeah.
And this is one thing I don't like about Saka. I think he's not ruthless enough. I don't think he has that killer instinct enough. There are And players his age, and when we talk about players in a certain category, they have to be ruthless. You can't be satisfied when you scored one goal and have one assist that lead. There's a lot of time and there's space and there are opportunities for you to bury the game. That's when you go out and you kill it. There was a number of times in that second half where Arsenal had 3-on-3 scenarios, 3-on-2 scenarios with the ball on Saka's foot. And he chose to go past 1, 2, where we know he can see the pass. We know he has the ability to play the pass. But he's interested in the unnecessary things. And there was one particular instance where the ball was taken off him and he went back and went to tackle Ben White. Tottenham fans are abusing him. He looks in the crowd and he's smiling. It's like he's interested in riling up the Tottenham fans where you could easily be getting a fourth goal. It's that ruthlessness that is missing from his game.
So
when you look
at attitude thing.
It's an attitude thing. When you look at the likes of Phil Foden and co, they are not going to be doing these silly things when they are playing a game at this stage in the season. They are going for the kill. You have to go, score until it's over. Yeah. And from that one Raya mistake, Arsenal were almost undone. Yeah. But it's credit to this Arsenal team. Again, I've mentioned it throughout the course of the season. If this thing happened 2 seasons ago or last season, it's 3-3. If this mistake and the penalty, it's 3-3. We all know that Arsenal are not going to win. Collapse. But one substitution, Kivior comes in, and all of a sudden the danger is thwarted. They are dealing with every 50-50 ball. They are winning their duels. They are taking the balls to the corners when they are supposed to. Nothing is going past them. And for me, it's credit to this team and the group.
Just a second on it. That's on Spurs. Spurs could easily have played in this top 4 this season, but they are causing their own problem because of how. And that is something about the new breed of managers.
Stubbornness.
Post Pep Guardiola and Antonio Conte. They are so stubborn in casting their own style. You've seen Roberto De Zerbi, you've seen Ange. When they're going to play against Arsenal, who are devastating with Saka in the game, Trossard, why was he desperately inverting Pedro Porro and Udogie? Because Arsenal had them in the wide areas for the fun of it. And anytime Arsenal had the ball, they could easily go there. By the time the fullback is leaving midfield to get close to the wide area, the winger is gone.
It was Ben Davies.
It's gone. And so I can't understand why. And throughout the season, they don't change style to fit opposition
have not changed.
And that is why maybe then they won't play in the Champions League this season. Maybe, just maybe.
Maybe. So Tottenham Hotspur with their own problems. But let's move it on, take you to Germany. That is where one manager's stubbornness is paying off. Having won the Bundesliga title, Leverkusen they are on the roll, trying to make history. Absolutely devastating. This time around against Stuttgart. It looked like they were down 2-0 and it looked like they were going to lose. They did not. Unbelievable. 46 matches in all competitions, unbeaten. They are in the German, the DFB Pokal final. They're in the Europa League semi-final. They are Bundesliga champ. They've not lost a match. They were supposed to lose this game, but they didn't. Anyway, Inter Milan are champions of Italy. Let's take a look. Inter Milan, open top. They deserve this, Icho.
Yeah, they were by far the best team in the league. Played some of the best football. And what I like about what Simone Inzaghi has done is it was a continuation of what they did last season, really. Disappointingly, they couldn't go into the Champions League semis or into the Champions League because they lost Atletico Madrid in the last 16. But yeah, they would be proud. And I'm happy for Simone Inzaghi because the question about him was, can he do the marathon? Can he do the leagues? Because when it came to the cups, with Lazio, he won every cup in Italy. Yeah. Then with Inter, he's won every cup. But he bottled the league 2 seasons ago, and last season couldn't win it off Napoli. So the question was, can he win the league? But the answer this season has been yes, and he did it with a spectacular brand of football. Congratulations to Internazionale.
All right, congrats to everyone at Inter Milan. There's Champions League football returning tomorrow. Big game, 2 massive matches live on Joe FM and on Hits FM. You guys I've got NBA to do because it's a big shock last night after the Phoenix Suns got swept by the Timberwolves. I want to talk about that. So I'm going to give you guys like 60-second previews of these 2 big matches, starting with you, Daniel.
We don't predict semi-final.
Bayern versus Real Madrid.
We don't predict semi-final games. We just talk about them.
I said that's why I said 60-second analysis. I didn't say predictable.
This Bayern Real Madrid meeting of Champions League royalty. I expect a very tactical and cagey game in the first one. I don't think Bayern will be too keen to open up and give things away. They already know they have a very troubling defense. So if they open up too much, Real Madrid will punish them. So I expect a very cagey game. The Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain game also, I also expect that one to be cagey. Why? Because they've already met twice in the group stages. Both managers would have made the necessary tweaks to be able to sail through. And at this point in the season, the Champions League, you don't see too many open matches, especially when you are two teams who are almost at par. So I don't expect a lot of goals from these two first leg games.
It's going to be pretty quiet. I think it's going to be simple for Real Madrid against Bayern, to be honest.
You think it's going to be an easy game for Real?
I think so. I don't think Bayern have got a decent enough midfield, irrespective of the combination they pick, to match what Real Madrid can present. Defensively as well, Bayern Munich have been all over the place. And even if they sit deep and try to be tight, Real Madrid have got what it takes to carve them open. One thing they have, though, is that out of nothing they can score. Musiala can produce magic, Harry Kane can step up with something, Leroy Sané can be good, but Real Madrid have shown defensively they can do what they did against City. So I just think that the game is going to be Real Madrid dominating and Real Madrid winning, maybe convincingly even in Germany. And for PSG and Dortmund, Dortmund lack the pace to cope with what PSG will throw at them with the attackers. Dembele, Bakola, Mbappe against Schlotterbeck and Mats Hummels. I don't see how they deal with that unless they sit deep. But we know sitting deep is not part of their style. So, PSG.
Wild stuff. So, we'll see. The Champions League this week and next week. So, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then next week. So, next weekend when we come here, we'll have Champions League action to look back on. Should be a very exciting week. Well, we're done for the show, but before we go, Sichufe, you've got a big birthday shout out.
Massive birthday to Dr. Patrick Adonu. He's my brother-in-law, my wife's big brother. So
that's your brother-in-law.
Top guy. Happy birthday to you and God bless you.
Oh, he's a dog. He's a dog.
Don't.
I also have a shout out, but I need to give me closer.
Don't mind you.
That's my closer.
Okay, that's
closer. Me too. A quick shout out to Doc. Dr. Marilyn Dapa, quick one, aka Olu.
Olu?
Yeah, Olu. She grew.
Yeah, Doctor's name is Olu.
I'm telling you.
All right. Big shout out to myself and all the viewers and all the viewers of SportsZone. We thank you very much. Brought to you, of course, by Syntex Tank, Johnny Walker, as well as Kivo. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. We're back again next Monday. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.